Some of you know how to use Excel, but you may not know how to use formulas. So I'm going to show you how to create a formula in a spreadsheet. Here is a database, a table of numbers that I've downloaded from the BEA.gov website for the chapter on gross domestic product. And each one of these cells here is just a number. So you can see up in the formula bar, here's just a number. And that's what each and every one of these things is here. So one of the questions on the assignment asked you to compare the current quarter to the previous quarter and to identify which items had increased and which had decreased. So one way we could do it is just to, well, first of all, we start off with an equal sign that tells Excel to expect a formula. So we could just take the numbers and type them in. So let's do that. 15,824, which is the first quarter 2014, minus the fourth quarter 2013, 15,942.3. Enter. There's your number. All right, so that's pretty tedious though, isn't it? So instead of typing in the numbers, one thing that we can do is this. Start with the equal sign and then click on the cell that you want to use first. So up here, it's got K9. It's identified it as K9, column K, and row 9. So this cell then is identified as K9, and we're going to subtract from it this cell right here, which is J9, and enter. And that amount is 27.7. Okay, so we could just type that in each and every one of these cells down here. Very tedious. So instead of doing that, we've got another shortcut, which is copy. So we're going to copy the formula down. It's going to just copy the formula, not the actual numbers. So as we hover over the cell here, go down to the lower right-hand side, and we see a solid cross. We're going to click and drag. Okay, and now it has done that calculation for each and every row. Okay, and then we had the second part of that question was to compare the current quarter with the same quarter previous year or prior year. There we go. So we will do that. Equals first quarter 2014 minus first quarter 2013. Enter. We will copy that down. All right. So now we're going to do a little formatting. First of all, we're going to format the numbers. So we highlight those numbers and then right-click, go down to Format Cells, Number, and Number. We just run around to the nearest whole number, so we're going to say 0 decimal places. Doesn't look like we have any thousands, but just in case, let's use the separator. And I'm going to use parentheses for negative numbers. And then we are going to do some conditional formatting. So conditional formatting is kind of fun. So we're going to tell it, it's going to format based on certain conditions. So highlight cell rules greater than. So let's tell it for any numbers that are greater than 0, let's give them a green color. And then go back up here. So our numbers are still highlighted. Less than for any numbers less than 0. You notice we don't have any zeros in there, so this will work. So we'll use red. Okay. Alrighty, so let's do one more thing to do some formatting. So right click, format cells, and we're going to go to border. So we're going to put borders around each cell, and then we're going to take the header and give it some color. We'll go to this paint bucket here, and let's do, well, we want a kind of a dark color. There we go. Not the most attractive green. Anyway, so this would be suitable for an answer. I think that probably if you were going to hand this in as your answer, you might want to, oops, hang on here. I'm highlighting these columns and I'm going to hide them. So I'm going to right click up here and hide. So I might, well, we can just go a little bit further and bold those. You could hand in something like this for your answer.